long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
You like me because I'm a scoundrel. There aren't enough scoundrels in your life.
I happen to like nice men.
Nice man.
Very nice.
So while I was hanging out on Twitter X, drinking my coffee, my friend posted this. We were talking about girls and Star Wars, and he's right. Girls crossed into this realm of toy play completely on their own, without virtue signaling and crying on the internet. A, we never would have virtue signaled, and B, we never would have cried because we didn't do that. But what do we know? Little girls, KK said little girls can identify with Luke and Han. I remember hags like her, Kennedy. We'll rewrite history if we forget it. This is about putting history down where it can never be erased. Here's who he was talking about, Kathleen Kennedy, the so-called president of Lucasfilm, who's either leaving very soon or in October, whenever. And she said little girls didn't identify with Luke and Han. She allowed for the takeover, the feminist takeover of Star Wars in her own way, all right? And she ruined it. Okay, the Force is female. Granted, this was a Nike ad. But she's making a statement here. It's a fuck you to all the guys who grew up with it and all the women like me. Okay? All right? That's what this is. When she said women didn't identify with Luke and Han, girls didn't. It's like, no, we just wanted both of them or one of them. I wanted Han. And to me, the inspiration I got as a little girl was Leia because she was beautiful. She was strong, she was tender, she was a woman. Kennedy talked about strong, independent females. So Jon Favreau, when he comes to help clean up her mess, comes in with hiring Gina Carano. And Gina, puts stuff out there that Kennedy is like kryptonite to Kennedy and ends up getting yourself kicked off the team. This is not what strong, independent women do. They don't kick each other off teams because they disagree politically. But that's what Kathleen Kennedy does. So we are now looking at the Force is female and fourth wave intersexual feminists as mean girls. Okay, then let's talk about the Slave Leia costume. Carrie Fisher was supposed to hate this, and she complained about the costume all the time, but it was mostly just to tease George. She was extremely happy looking as beautiful as she did. He allowed her to do that, okay? And she looked beautiful. She was very comfortable at this point in her own body, to the point where these images were the image that every boy had up in their bedroom, every teenage boy. She took over from Farrah Fawcett and Christy Brinkley and all those women, all right? She was a queen. She was the princess on top of the pack for a time because of these. But according to Kathleen Kennedy, that was a hateful thing for George to put her in, and we're all supposed to hate him for it. It's misogynist. It doesn't have anything to do with the moment in the movie the gangster who was holding Leia hostage, and the way he treated his dancing girls, okay? It wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with that. I look at them and go, just because you're fat, old, and ugly, or young with a great big thing sticking in your nose, and you look like you fell into your daddy's tackle box, that doesn't mean that the rest of us have to feel bad about ourselves too, just because you're uncomfortable being a female because some fucked up teacher told you that. Here she is as a princess. She had a bigger kill ratio than Luke or Han. Okay? It's true. All right? So we're all supposed to go, oh, we should feel poor put upon Carrie. She didn't feel that way. I mean, her interviews when they're talking to her about Leia, she's like, she's not a princess like any other. She's not a damsel in distress. Han Solo would not have gone head over heels for her if she had been a damsel in distress. All right, here she is on the pedestal where the boys put her. They are at her beck and call. Not the other way around, by the way. All right, women have a power that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't want you to understand or know. It's your femininity. It's your sexuality. It's your instincts, okay? Look at the Bible. The story of Ruth, all right? The story of Esther, Mary, the mother of God. Women are a man's equal in every way, but we do things differently because we're supposed to. Our differences are where their differences fit, and that makes us equal. Do you understand that? So Leia can be the leader, okay? She can also be the soft, tender, gentle woman when it's appropriate, okay? Like when after Han is tortured, okay? When he kisses her on the ship, okay? When she shows up in that dress on Cloud City, okay? She is vulnerable, and yet when she can't be vulnerable, she's not. And that's trying to escape Cloud City, the Death Star, helping Han lead the rebels against the shield generator. This is what a woman is supposed to be, okay? You put her into a dress, and she will dazzle every man in the place. You put her into this uniform, these fatigues, and she's suddenly telling older, probably wiser men to get something done, okay, to do something. And then, at the end, she's right back wearing a lovely, earth-toned, brown, sort of smock dress. If it's leather, I don't know. Looking completely beautiful with her hair down for the first time. We see her. She completed the transformation into womanhood. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't like this. Okay. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't like the fact that Natalie Portman was allowed to be a woman in every moment of the prequels. Okay. She wore beautiful, beautiful costumes. Even Carrie Fisher lamented that she never got to wear half the beautiful things that Natalie did. But, one is a rebel princess on the run and leading men and not really having time to jump into a gown. And it would not have been appropriate to do that. And the other is the Queen of Naboo and a senator. Okay. She's also from an elite family, so she can afford to dress this way. I mean, even look at Shmi Skywalker. She's dressed appropriately. She's not, wearing manly clothes. She's not wearing something that takes away her sexuality. All right, takes away her feminine beauty. Okay, she is dressed as a woman in a position of pretty hard work. Now, does Watu abuse her? No. But still, she's a slave. Okay, she can't just pick up and say, I'm going to Coruscant and try to find a job there. All right? She can't say she can't leave. She's a slave. All right? Now, if you look at Natalie Portman in the black dress with that collar thing that goes on it, that was designed by George. George designed that. Okay. And Natalie was like, this was something I could not believe, all right, in the interviews. He wanted Padme to look almost untouchable. But whereas Leia on the pedestal at the end of Star Wars A New Hope is wearing white, which is purity, Natalie Portman is wearing black, but it's an expensive black. It is a black that tells people that the woman wearing it is from a high-level family. But again, we're not supposed to aspire to look as beautiful as her. And again, you have to remember, Kathleen Kennedy insisted that girls weren't allowed to play Star Wars. Even though some of us did, all right? She looks at the numbers of girls. She doesn't look at the quality, okay? Again, Star Wars is a boys' franchise.
The age of men is over. The time of the orc has come.
That one just drew a pentagram on the floor and chanted, I summon thee 3 times.
Urinal cakes? I don't believe this. All these years, the doyenne of Seattle's elite, looking down her nose at everyone in sight. She owes it all to this. She's managed to have her urinal cake and eat it too.
As I think we now have what's known in the legal profession as a bargaining chip.
Oh, are you kidding? She'd give anything to keep this quiet.
All right, let me go talk.
She's in the final level of her guru's serenity training, the week-long vow of silence, day 6. No, Marta, that's all right. She doesn't have to come to the phone. Just give her this message. I've flushed out her family secret. Hello, Maris.
No, stop. Not one more crooked word. Your tongue could open a wine bottle.
I never had an agent. It's not like she worships the devil.
Well, she doesn't have to. He worships her.
Oh, we're told that women like this are actually what women are supposed to be. Inappropriately dressed with toxic frog-colored hair, who hate men, who are poorly written characters. I'm sure that Laura Dern, when she thinks about Billy Bob Thornton, blames him entirely for him leaving her when, it takes 2 for a problem. Then, of course, we get Kelly Marie Tran, who wasn't allowed to be beautiful. She was dressed in a potato sack. But this, to the people who made The Last Jedi and the sequel trilogy, are appropriate women, okay? And then we go to what J.J. Abrams did to Carrie Fisher. Took away her femininity. Daisy Ridley is not allowed to look like a girl, and Captain Phasma is wearing a fucking cod piece. All right, what is wrong with this? I know what's wrong with this. It's a lie. It's telling girls out there that your femininity, your beauty is bad. This woman right here tells girls with her movies that you're not allowed to look like a beautiful girl. Okay, you're not allowed to be beautiful. I mean, and their behavior, like, okay, let's talk about quickly Indiana Jones on the Dial of Destiny. Helena Shaw, in certain circumstances, behaves like a man in her behavior, and it's disgusting. When you watch Sex and the City, Samantha Jones, I've said this before, is always a woman. She may say in the pilot episode, you should just forget your feelings and fuck like a man. But that statement gets her in trouble several times because she knows she can't do that. All right, she gets herself in trouble. Okay. Kathleen Kennedy would have you believe that you're not supposed to behave like a woman. You're not supposed to dress in beautiful gowns, have your hair done. If a man admires your body, admires you, your body and your beauty, you're supposed to repudiate him. How dare he look at me like that? All right. She also, again, wants you to believe that girls never played Star Wars. Because, again, she looks at the numbers of girls. All right. No, not all girls wanted to play Star Wars. In fact, most women didn't like it at all. They thought it was stupid. Fine. I didn't. Okay. When you looked at the fans back then, about a good chunk of 20% were women. Okay, were girls. All right. You know, I got Star Wars figures for Christmas. I got to play with I have the Millennium Falcon. Am I going to be erased because it doesn't fit her idea of history? And this was a woman who played quarterback for her high school football team? Are you kidding me? And I'm sure the guys weren't appreciative of it because she didn't belong there. All right? That is a place a woman doesn't belong. All right? I don't care how many women want to play football. You don't. Get the fuck out of there. All right? Everything about the sequel trilogy is a phony attempt to undo what George did. George obviously loved women, or he would not have written Leia the way he wrote her. And Carrie Fisher would have agreed with me. He would not have written Padme Amidala the way he wrote Padme if he hated women. Okay. All right. When you've got people talking about intersectional feminism, fourth wave feminism, and Star Wars, it doesn't work because the main female characters were feminist characters in the way we have to be. Leia was tough. She was a leader. She was a hard ass when she had to be. But she was tender. She was soft. She was vulnerable. She was gentle. She was sweet. She was a lady. Padme, same thing. Why can't these women appreciate themselves for that? Okay. Why can't they look at themselves, put on dresses, wear makeup, and enjoy their how they were made? You are fearlessly made. All right? You are fiercely made. And to me, I'm like, I look at Kennedy and say, why are you lying to girls? And why are you trying to erase me and all the rest of the girls who loved Star Wars when we were kids? Why are you trying to erase how Carrie felt about Leia? This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.